all the way around.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody who support me and who support this platform, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. It's very much appreciated. Much love, man. I just wanted to come in and let y'all guys know I'll be starting in a minute. You know, so I'm gonna go back on mute. Y'all give me a minute, and we gonna start this show tonight. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure you smash that like button. You tuned in right now. Go ahead, smash the like button, share the show, and give me about 10 minutes, and we gonna start it up. Peace. Shout out to y'all, man. What's good, y'all? I see y'all in the building. I see y'all. I'm gonna be starting in a minute, y'all. Give me about five more minutes and we gonna start. Shout out to y'all, man. Thanks for coming through. It's getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand. Definitely. You right though, Michael. And it's crazy. We gonna get into that, man. Peace, y'all. Peace, man. Peace. Let me go ahead and do my intro once again. This is DS1 Ross of Sheep Stay Sleep TV, and we back here again with another show tonight. And this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat room. Um, I saw your comment too, Zovicho. Shout out to you, man. I agree with that. I definitely agree. And for a minute, man, I thought, you know, I thought that this was just a way for these people to basically come out and just admit, who they are and what they're about. But, with this whole Billy D situation, man, I really feel like it's definitely an agenda. Um, I definitely think there's an agenda, and a lot of people are using this shit for monetary gain, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's good, Haven? What's good, cats? Rain and Woman, I see you. What up, James? Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. But you got Billy D. Williams out here, man. First of all, Billy D. Williams is a legend. Like, that's off the rip. This guy's a legend. I'm not even going to get up here and disrespect the guy. Because, I don't have no reason to disrespect the brother. So I'm not going to get up here and disrespect him. But it's sad that we have to find out that a lot of, BMs who play an instrumental role as far as masculine symbols. There was a lot of people back in the day who were, BWs that were staples when it came to masculinity. Billy D. Williams was one of those guys. He was one of those guys that, growing up, a lot of my father's friends and stuff like that, they wanted to be cool like Billy D. A lot of guys got their style from guys like Billy D. Williams. They wanted that image for themselves as men. Billy D was that smooth, cool type guy. Smoother than the other side of the pillow type guy. Shout out to Ronan for that donation, man. Shout out to you, man. Vosi Thoughts, what's going on? And it's very ironic how, now that I'm starting to get up there in age, I'm starting to find out a lot about these guys. I found out that Richard Pryor, Richard Pryor, he he got a little dirty when it came to his sexuality. He played around with those boys too. Luther Vandross played around with those boys. Teddy Pendergrass played around with those boys. They even said Freddie Jackson played around with those boys. Marvin Gaye played around with men. Now you got Billy D. Williams coming out and saying he's gender fluid. He's gender fluid. Notice how they're getting real, they're becoming real loose with the terms and the definitions for these terms. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that being gender fluid is something that is new. This is something that could have been around for years. But this is the first time I ever heard about it. I never heard about gender fluidity. Just like I never heard of new masculinity. And I want to let y'all know, these things are under the banner of new masculinity. I hope y'all know that. I hope y'all know the agenda that's at hand here. Like I talked about in my Stragalon is Fallen series. They're trying to replace, or they're going to replace the terms of masculinity. They're trying to recontextualize what masculinity is supposed to be to men. They're taking out a lot of things and they're pushing it to the side and labeling that stuff toxic masculinity. And this new masculinity stuff is all of these other new things that you hearing these guys speaking on. And one of the things that's going to be involved in it is gender fluidity, where you have people who are not even considering themselves male or female anymore. And this is what the brother Billy D. Williams is saying. He's saying that he's gender fluid, and he's been that way for years. He doesn't consider himself at 82 years old. He's coming out and he's saying this. Now, we don't know how long he's considered himself genderly fluid. But this is what's going to be under the new masculine banner, where you can say, I don't consider myself male or female. And if you don't consider yourself male or female, you don't have a sexuality. You see? So you can't say that he's heterosexual. You can't say that he's bisexual, or you can't say he's homosexual, because he doesn't consider himself male or female. And this is how they're blurring the lines when it comes to masculinity, preferably BM masculinity. Because what's so shocking to me is, where are all the WMs that are pushing this new masculinity thing? Where are they at? Where are the WMs who consider themselves genderly fluid? Where are these guys at? Why are they not in the tabloids? Why are they not being used to push this agenda? Why do we constantly want to hold the banner up for something in someone else's agenda? Why? Because at 82 years old, like Zovator said in the chat room, like Michael M said, what are you doing even? You was better off not even saying nothing, dog. You 82 years old, Billy. 82 years old. You 82, bruh. Nobody cares what you was doing when you was doing your thing. That was eons ago. Nobody's concerned with your sexuality, Billy D. Williams. Only people who's worried about your sexuality is people that's your age, or the women who grew up lusting after you. But nobody cares. You 82. You're 82 years old. So it has to be an incentive in this for you to come out and say, all of a sudden, you're genderly fluid. All of a sudden, you. And notice they're using certain types of guys. Remember, Malik Yoba, when he played in New York Undercover, he was that manly type of dude. He was that guy in New York Undercover that played the role of a reformed Pookie and Ray Ray. Malik Yoba played the hood dude who came from the hood, from the streets of New York, changed his life and became a cop. That's the role Malik Yoba played. This is why women liked Malik Yoba in New York Undercover. Because he had that masculine, rough, street vibe to him. You see? See, I'm not really surprised at Pharrell, because Pharrell was never that, that alpha type of masculine kind of guy. Even when he speaks, you can tell that he's very he's very beta when you hear him speak. So I'm not surprised, because he was never in that element when it came to masculinity. He's a Hollywood star. He's in the pop world. That stuff didn't surprise me with Pharrell. But when I learned of the Luther Vandross of the world, and I found out what Luther like, when I found out about Freddie Jackson, when I found out about Teddy Pendergrass, when I found out about Richard Pryor, when I found out shit about Paul Mooney, these are masculine men. Growing up, my dad played Freddie Jackson. My father played Luther Vandross, The Whispers. I grew up listening to these men sing to women. I used to watch how my mother would melt when my father would play these men's songs. Shout out to Ronan on that donation too. I see you, bro. Appreciate it. I watched from a little boy what that type of music did to women. Especially Teddy Pendergrass. And to find out that these guys are really moist. And see, why I don't respect Billy D on what he did was because he could have took that to the grave with him, man. Because a lot of these guys, I didn't find out about Luther till he was dead. I'm not saying, a couple of people or a lot of people probably been new. People that are older than me. But I didn't know about Teddy till he died. I didn't know nothing about Luther till he died. I didn't know nothing about Richard Pryor till he died, and people started to confirm the rumors. And to this day, people say that about Paul Mooney. But why is all of our masculine staples, why are we finding out that these guys are really moist all of a sudden? What is going on? Now this guy's saying that he doesn't claim a gender. So if you don't claim a gender, you're 82 years old currently. Do you have, I know this man have children. So you're not a father? You're not a father, so your children don't call you dad. So you don't stand up and piss no more, huh, Billy D? You don't stand up and piss no more, huh? You don't stand up or sit down and piss, huh, Billy? So your nutsack just disappeared, huh, Billy? That's what you're saying. Because that's the definition of being gender fluid. You see? And see, I'm starting to see how the system works when it comes to this type of shit. Because they've been trying to push and promote a genderless society, right? And they've been promoting this stuff in the schools. This is how they're able to start slipping in um trans teachers, where you have teachers who are trans now, who can legally teach your children, right? And these people are writing books telling trans stories and all of this type of stuff. But look at how they get people. This is how they galvanize us, mainly us, to get us to okay an agenda. They go and get one of our famous people. They always use one of our celebrities. Always. They get a celebrity or they go get an activist. And once they see, oh, they harping on this story. They agree with it. Next thing you know, a few years later, a law is passed where the shit becomes legal. You see? They always use our own people to get us to basically verbally sign the contract to what they're trying to implement. They're using our own people. And they've been doing it. Billy D. Williams is 82 years old. Why? After all of these years, they could have, if this man been claiming to be genderly fluid all of this time. So that means y'all been knew he been running around playing how he been playing. Why y'all didn't been bring this out about Billy D? If y'all not using this for something specific, for a specific time, why y'all didn't been bring this out? This is how you know that this is going under the banner of new masculinity. Look at the people who's coming out ever since this conversation of toxic masculinity. Look at how the events has transpired. They are really about to make this shit official. You get Malik Yoba to come out, say what he said. You get Pharrell on the cover of GQ magazine. Now, mind you, not only are they using these people, but if you go back and you listen to what they're saying in these articles and in their interviews, they're speaking on toxic masculinity. They're speaking on how masculinity has been toxic on the world all of a sudden. This is their underlying message. This is what Pharrell was talking about in the GQ article. He was talking about the old ways of masculinity and how some of those things are not good for society, and men are so angry. And go back and read it. Malik Yoba. That's the shit he start going off into. He start going off on that toxic masculinity bullshit. Tank, he did the septic tank. He did the same thing. He did the same thing. Even though they caught him, somebody took a picture of him at a baseball game stuffing a foot-long Frank in his mouth. They got a picture of septic tank stuffing a foot-long hot dog down his throat. But that's not toxic. Being caught as a man doing some shit like that. But just pay attention on the events and how they're coming right behind each other. I watched The Breakfast Club. Charlemagne done brought up the topic of toxic masculinity. How men need to be in touch with their feminine side, and how men are not balanced, and we need to search for balance in our life, and the way we do that is by interacting with our inner female. Even Charlemagne.